The internet woke up screaming today because Hood Trophy Bino just detonated a bomb so messy, so chaotic, so catastrophically unnecessary that even Zeus Network executives probably spit out their coffee. According to Bino's latest volcanic outburst, he's got private paperwork about Junior, yes. The kind of confidential family info nobody should ever see, and instead of handling it like a normal adult, he sprinted to the internet like he was auditioning for the role of pettiest man alive. He teased it, flashed it, hinted at it, waved it around like a golden ticket to chaos. And the timeline combusted on sight and baby. The moment Chrisean Rock even heard about it, she didn't just react, she detonated. She melted down faster than a candle on a grill, shouting, pacing, accusing, threatening, and spiraling so dramatically you'd swear this was the leaked pilot of a new Zeus reality show titled Documents and Destruction. Fans were clutching their chests. Haters were celebrating like it was a national holiday. The memes were instant, vicious, and Olympic dash level. This wasn't drama. This was a Category 10 social media storm. Screenshots flew. Lives erupted. Comment sections turned into war zones. And trust me, if you think the leak was wild, wait until you hear what happened next. The chaos started the moment Bino decided he was tired of being a background character in the Blueface cinematic universe and wanted to upgrade himself to full-blown villain mode. He hopped online with that signature chaotic smirk, holding a stack of private paperwork like he had just uncovered national secrets from the Pentagon. He didn't explain what it was. He didn't clarify why he had it. He just held it up long enough for the screenshot warriors to take aim, and that alone was enough to send the internet into a full meltdown. People didn't even know what they were looking at, but the timeline has never let a lack of information get in the way of a good scandal. The wildest part? Bino acted like he had been waiting his whole life for this moment. He waved those papers like a pastor waving a sermon, hinting that everything Chrisean had ever said about Jair's care, upbringing, or situation was about to be corrected. The audacity was Olympic level. He spoke in dramatic half-sentences, paused for emphasis like he was delivering a monologue, and kept repeating that he had the real truth. The internet, naturally allergic to calmness, erupted. Fans split into two armies faster than people argue about pineapple on pizza, but if Bino is the match, Carlissa is always the gasoline. The minute she caught wind of Bino's little document parade, she didn't hesitate for even half a millisecond. She jumped online with the energy of someone who had rehearsed her rant in the mirror. Her smile stretched wider than a villain in a superhero movie, and her voice had that signature "I told y'all" pitch she saves for moments of maximum chaos. She claimed she knew something like this would come out eventually, acting like she had psychic abilities or a subscription to the universe's drama forecast. If there were awards for causing unnecessary online explosions, she'd have a full trophy case. Meanwhile, Chrisean was somewhere off-screen living her life in peace until the internet dragged her into the flames. The moment fans started tagging her, spamming her, and flooding her notifications like they were sending emergency signals from a sinking ship, everything shifted. She went from quiet to volcanic in record time. She got on live, pacing back and forth, ranting in spirals, eyes wide, voice shaking with a mix of rage and disbelief. She kept demanding why Bino had her family paperwork in the first place, a very fair question, but one the internet didn't care to answer. They were too busy hosting digital boxing matches in the comment sections. Within minutes, Chrisean's meltdown became the second trending topic of the day. People reposted her live reactions, freeze-framed her expressions, added captions, added sound effects, added dramatic music. The timeline was on fire, and everyone became a part-time editor. Her supporters rallied, shouting that Bino crossed a line, violated trust, and was playing with fire. Her critics, who lived for any second of her chaos, posted their opinions like they were judges on a chaotic talent show titled "Who Can Be the Pettiest Today?" But what made the scandal even messy was the uncertainty. Nobody knew what the papers actually were. Bino refused to clarify. He kept giving vague hints like he'd taken a course in confusing storytelling. 101. Some fans claimed the papers were custody-related. Others swore they looked like child services notes. A group of unhinged viewers insisted it was proof of a conspiracy. Theories multiplied like flies on leftover pizza. People argued so fiercely you'd think they were debating actual global events. Screenshots of the blurry papers circulated everywhere. Each one zoomed in, circled, and barely legible, because the internet loves analyzing things it cannot read. Users invented entire narratives based on shadows and scribbles. Someone even claimed they saw a government seal, which was actually just a smudge. But hey, reality rarely stops the timeline from spiraling. This was no different. The feud officially crossed into historic territory when major gossip pages posted back-to-back updates every 5 minutes, treating the situation like election night coverage. Headlines got more dramatic with each post. Pages used words like shocking reveal, private documents, family fallout, and war zone. It felt like every influencer with a ring light suddenly became an investigative journalist breaking a major crime story. The algorithm was thriving. Viewers were filming at the mouth, and every creator wanted a piece of the engagement pie. Chrisean's live only threw jet fuel on the fire. Between shouting, pacing, ranting, and calling out everyone from Bino to invisible haters, her meltdown was emotional, raw, and loud enough to echo across platforms. People clipped her wiping her face, yelling into the phone, and threatening to pull up. They posted it with captions like, "This is wild, Chrisean snapped," and "Oh my god, she's done playing." Even users who normally avoid drama found themselves sucked into the digital tornado at the same time. Bino continued acting like a villain who finally got a spotlight. He hopped back online with smug energy, sipping water like he was doing a live Q&A nobody asked for. He hinted that there was more where that came from and said he was just getting started. The arrogance was breathtaking. The confidence? Unmatched. The chaos? Immaculate. People begged him to show the full papers. Others begged him to stop talking. Some begged for peace. Nobody got what they wanted. Carlisa, smelling the chaos like perfume, continued chiming in with commentary that made everything worse. She added dramatic details, emotional tones, and unsolicited opinions until the situation became impossible to untangle. She acted like she was narrating a documentary, adding her own spin, correcting people, contradicting herself, then doubling down again. Nobody does chaos like Carlisa. She has turned it into a lifestyle brand. By late afternoon, the scandal had reached global circulation. TikTok had theories. Twitter had memes. YouTube had reaction videos. Instagram had fake screenshots. People who had never seen Bino in their lives were suddenly invested like stock market gamblers. Entire group chats were dedicated to decoding the drama. Not since the Blueface and Chrisean saga originally began had the internet been this glued to their screens, and through it all, nobody knew what the papers actually contained. That mystery alone kept the drama alive and guaranteed that things were about to get even worse. The internet didn't just react, it erupted like a reality TV volcano with Wi-Fi. Within an hour, the Bino vs. Chrisean saga morphed into a digital wildfire spreading across every corner of social media. You couldn't scroll 2 inches without seeing Bino's smug face, Chrisean's meltdown clips, or Carlisa preaching like she was the unofficial CNN anchor for messy family news. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone had a theory. And somehow, everyone suddenly became an expert in private documents, even though half of the people debating this couldn't read their own tax forms. Meme creators were working like sweatshop elves on Christmas Eve. Twitter had already turned Bino's screenshot into an entire comic series, portraying him as a supervillain guarding the Infinity Papers. TikTok editors sensed Chrisean's meltdown audio over dramatic movie scenes. Instagram pages were posting side-by-side comparisons of Bino with cartoon villains. And Facebook Annies, the real agents of chaos, wrote paragraphs longer than college essays analyzing every second of the situation like they were solving a cold case. In other words, the internet was at its absolute highest level of unhinged productivity. Then the celebrities stepped in, because nothing fuels a scandal like famous people pretending to be neutral. A Love and Hip Hop cast member posted a praying for everyone involved message, which absolutely nobody believed was sincere. A rapper commented with 2 eye emojis, and somehow that became a headline like "Rapper reacts to Bino situation." Meanwhile, a female influencer who once beefed with Chrisean posted a cryptic line about fake friends exposing themselves when the sun hits right. even though it had nothing to do with the situation. The internet tied her to the drama anyway, because users love connecting dots that don't exist. As the chaos escalated, Bino's confidence transformed into full-blown villain mode. He started replying to comments with smart remarks, hinting that the documents contained real tea the world wasn't ready for. This man wasn't just stirring the pot, he was seasoning it, tasting it, and serving it with a smirk. Every vague sentence he posted turned into 20 new rumors. Every laugh emoji he dropped became a conspiracy theory. He wasn't providing answers because answers end drama, and Bino knew the timeline was his playground as long as confusion was alive. Chrisean's meltdown kept fueling the story like gasoline on a grease fire. In one clip, she yelled that Bino was obsessed and digging into things he shouldn't even have. In another clip, she threatened anyone who dared spread false narratives. The raw emotion, the pacing, the yelling, all of it became meme material faster than she could refresh her comments. People clipped tiny parts of her live and posted them with wildly misleading captions just to stir more chaos. It was digital anarchy, and viewers couldn't look away even if they tried. Even the Blueface fandom dived in like Olympic swimmers. Half of them blamed Chrisean. The other half blamed Bino, a few blamed Carlissa for breathing. And a small but extremely loud group insisted that everything happening was somehow Blueface's fault, even though he wasn't even in the storyline at that moment. It didn't matter, they crowned him guilty anyway, because when chaos erupts, the internet picks scapegoats by vibe, not logic. But the real explosion came when a random commentator on TikTok claimed they had zoomed in on the paperwork and noticed something important. They couldn't actually prove what they saw because the screenshot was potato quality, but that didn't stop thousands of users from believing it. People stitched the video, debated the claim, reposted it, and added dramatic music behind it. Suddenly, the timeline was flooded with blurry screenshots circled in red like a detective board made by someone who definitely failed the detective exam. It was stupidity at its most entertaining. Influencers milked the moment like it was their last chance to go viral. YouTubers made 45-minute reaction videos titled "Bino's Massive Leak: What Really Happened?" even though they knew nothing. TikTokers did dramatic readings of Bino's posts like Shakespeare monologues. Facebook vloggers were already shouting in their cars about the downfall of today's youth. Meanwhile, Thames and Tev gossip pages were posting updates every 6 minutes, using fonts so dramatic they looked like movie trailers, and then Carlissa returned because of course she did, ready to stir the pot with the energy of a DJ remixing chaos. She jumped back online, claiming she knew exactly what those papers mean, even though she didn't show a single piece of proof. She delivered her lines like a soap opera star who practiced her script in the mirror. She named names, threw shade, contradicted herself, then doubled down again because that's her trademark style. People listened anyway because Carlissa's rants are like tornado sirens, chaotic, unavoidable, and strangely captivating. Amid the storm, supporters tried desperately to calm things down. They begged people to stop speculating, stop spreading misinformation, and stop analyzing papers nobody could read. But their voices were drowned out by the drama-hungry masses. Once the internet is in chaos mode, it does not return to normal until it crashes into a bigger scandal. And at that moment, Bino's leak was the bigger scandal. As the day progressed, the situation evolved into a mythology. People no longer cared what the papers actually contained. The idea of the leak became the drama. The mystery became the entertainment. It didn't matter whether the documents were earth-shattering or mundane. The internet had already assigned them legendary status. Users discussed those papers like they were cursed, artifacts with world-ending power. What really kept the storm alive was Chrisean's refusal to log off. Every reaction she made added a fresh layer of chaos. She threatened Bino in one clip, defended Junior in another, cried in one video, cursed out trolls in the next. She rotated through emotions with the speed of someone scrolling through TikTok filters. And each shift triggered new waves of reactions, edits, parodies, and messy commentary. By nighttime, the situation had reached peak insanity. Twitter threads became novels. TikTok compilations were being uploaded every 10 minutes. YouTube reactors booked hotel rooms just to get better lighting for the breaking news videos. And fans everywhere were counting down, waiting for the next explosion. Because everyone knew this wasn't the end. With villains, Victims, villains pretending to be victims, and spectators throwing digital tomatoes. The stage was set for the most dramatic fallout yet, and trust me, the aftermath hit hard. By sunrise the next day, the internet wasn't just buzzing, it was vibrating like a phone on maximum vibration stuck inside a metal bowl. The Bino drama had mutated overnight into something far bigger than anyone expected. What began as a messy leak turned into a cultural earthquake, shaking every corner of social media with the force of reality TV chaos mixed with pure digital adrenaline. People weren't just watching anymore. They were invested. They were waking up, checking updates, refreshing pages, arguing with strangers, sending voice notes, and calling friends like they had stock in the outcome. The entire situation transformed into a storyline that made every other celebrity scandal look like a minor misunderstanding. At a grocery store, the real turning point came when fans realized the damage had already spread beyond the drama. Because when someone exposes private family info, even without details, the internet doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive. It magnifies. Suddenly, discussions weren't about what the papers said, but what they could say. Rumors snowballed into theories, theories snowballed into narratives, and narratives snowballed into reputational avalanches nobody could stop. Bino didn't just leak paperwork, he unlocked a chaos portal that refused to close. And once a scandal becomes public property, the crowd wants more. Always more. Chrisean's meltdown videos continue to circulate at lightning speed. Every clip, her yelling, pacing, pointing, challenging, crying, breathing, became its own meme. People spliced her reactions with movie scenes, fight compilations, dramatic sound effects, and even gospel music. The internet has a special talent for turning real stress into comedic content, and this was no exception. Chrisean's pain became entertainment, her confusion became punchlines, and her emotional spirals became the soundtrack of the timeline. It was brutal, messy, and unstoppable. On top of that, a new wave of commentary creators crawled out of the shadows. These are the content vultures who feast on dying reputations like it's a Sunday brunch buffet. They spoke with deep, serious voices, adding dramatic pauses like they were narrating a documentary on betrayal. They analyzed Bino's tone, Chrisean's body language, Carlisa's smirk, and even the font on the blurred papers. Some claimed they were protecting the truth. Others said they were just reporting. In reality, they were chasing views, and the scandal was pure gold. Meanwhile, Bino tried to act cool, but the internet started turning on him. People questioned why he had those documents, why he revealed them, how he got them, who gave them to him, whether he even understood what he was holding. Bino's villain arc began cracking. His confidence looked less like swagger and more like panic disguised as pride. The same people who cheered his initial leak began calling him out for crossing lines, seeking clout, and dragging a child into adult drama. What began as a flex started morphing into a backlash. If Bino was the villain, Carlisa was the commentator who refused to clock out. She kept adding new layers to the storyline, speaking as if she had been briefed by every spiritual ancestor who ever lived. One minute she sided with Bino, the next she contradicted him. Then she defended Chrisean. Then she attacked her again. Nobody ever truly knows whose side Carlisa is on, which makes her the perfect ingredient for guaranteed chaos. Her unpredictability kept the internet glued to her every word. Meanwhile, Chrisean's supporters mobilized like a digital army. They were tired, angry, and ready for war. They argued that Bino's leak wasn't just petty, it was dangerous. They accused him of weaponizing private info, violating trust, and exploiting Junior. They demanded accountability. They reposted every clip of Chrisean defending herself. They tried drowning out the negativity with positivity. But in the chaos economy of social media, positivity is a toy boat in a hurricane. Their voices mattered, but they didn't control the storm. As the scandal expanded, family members, old friends, ex-friends, producers, influencers, trolls, and random spectators all began inserting their voices. People who hadn't spoken to Chrisean in years suddenly had opinions. People who didn't even know Bino felt compelled to comment. It was a chain reaction, a digital domino effect where every push triggered 10 more. This wasn't a drama anymore, it was a public spectacle fueled by ego, anger, confusion, and entertainment hunger. Then came the consequences. Brands associated with the people involved quietly backed away like customers leaving a sketchy store at midnight. Business opportunities paused. Negotiations stalled. People unfollowed each other. Entire alliances shifted. Chrisean's team scrambled, Bino's circle defended him, and Carlissa continued stirring the pot like it was her life's calling. Even fans felt the shift. They could feel the tension, thickening like the air before a thunderstorm. But the most intense consequence hit Chrisean's public image. Despite doing nothing to trigger the leak, she became the center of the scandal. The narrative twisted itself like a vine, tightening around her reputation in ways she didn't deserve. She became the poster child of the chaos, not because she caused it, but because she reacted authentically, emotionally, humanly. And the internet doesn't know how to handle human emotions without turning them into entertainment. In the shadows of the digital circus, Jair's name kept getting dragged back up, and that's where the real damage lived. A child became the epicenter of a drama storm created by adults who couldn't keep their hands off the private paperwork. That part rubbed many viewers the wrong way. It shifted the tone. It reminded people that all the memes and chaos were built on something that should have stayed private. The pushback grew louder. Commentary pages urged people to be responsible. Some creators deleted their videos after realizing they crossed lines. Even certain celebrities stepped in urging people to stop dragging a baby into drama. The tone shifted from fun to uncomfortable, from entertainment to ethical debate. And that's when reality hit everyone. This wasn't a victorious moment for anyone. Everyone lost something, but the internet never stays serious for long. The scandal cooled, but only enough for people to reposition their chairs for the next explosion. Because while Bino's leak was messy, everyone sensed a bigger twist coming. Chrisean remained silent for longer than usual. Bino said he had more. Carlissa teased new information. Fans braced themselves. Because in the world of Blueface-adjacent chaos, the plot never ends, it just reloads, and deep down, everyone knew this saga wasn't over. It was the calm before the next digital earthquake, and when it hits, the explosion will make this one look tame. And if you're still here after surviving this emotional demolition derby, congratulations, you're officially stronger than the Wi-Fi connection holding this entire drama together. Because what we witnessed wasn't just a leak, a rant, or a meltdown. No, this was a full-blown social media hurricane with Bino tossing paperwork like confetti, Chrisean combusting in real time, and the internet treating it all like a championship game. Only on Trend Tattle do we break down scandals this messy, this chaotic, and this beautifully unhinged before the next twist drops, because trust me, someone in this storyline always has another twist ready. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're breaking into the algorithm. And drop a comment telling me exactly who you think crossed the line, who needs a timeout, and who should never be allowed near private paperwork again. Your opinions fuel the chaos, and around here, chaos is the house special. Because let's be honest, this saga isn't over. Bino is somewhere rehearsing his next reveal. Chrisean is probably charging her phone to go live with a vengeance. Carlissa is 100% warming up her vocal cords like she's headlining a petty acrobatics tour. And the internet? Already sharpening its meme-making tools for round 2. So stay locked in, stay loud, and stay messy. Because Trend Tattle is where the drama never sleeps, receipts always reload. And the next scandal shows up faster than anyone can deny it. Welcome to Trend Tattle, where the truth is optional but the chaos? Always guaranteed. It's guaranteed.